So I started thinking, I used to talk to this one girl, and I had to stop following her, like being following her on Instagram, because a lot of her a lot of her posts that she used to post, they used to be kind of like condescending, like looking down on people. For example, she had a post one time and it said, it was talking about how some girls pay half nowadays, pay when you go out to eat on a date. Nowadays, girls pay for half of the check, not like old times where guys used to like pay for the check. And the post was like pretty much saying, saying, putting people down, the girls who pay half of the check. I'm not saying don't have standards. Of course, you should look for the best in your life, of course. But that's no reason to go out and bash on people who don't have that or who don't view life that way. Everybody has is going through their own path. Some people forget, or maybe it makes them feel better inside, like a self-esteem issue. They feel better by putting other people down, and it's not cool. I think, of course, again, like, it's good to have standards, but you can have your standards and have no need to put other people down if they have lower standards, or if they're going through a situation that looks like lower standards to your point of view. So I really, the post was like, and it was like after one after the other. So it was always like kind of like, there's like a saying, like, or I'm not sure if it's the same, but it was like they were rejoicing in the misery of others, in their downfalls, or finding joy in other people's, downfalls or failures and things like that. It's that's not very empathetic. It's Yeah, it's not empathetic at all. It's There seems to be no community sense when a person acts that way. So I really had to, unfollow the person because it's like negative energy, it's like negative vibes. So I really didn't feel like seeing people be put down all the time. And I know I have paid half of the bill before. My last relationship, I had to pretty much pay everything. But at the same time, well, I mean, my half. And of course, we all have our trials and tribulations, and sometimes we have to go through some crazy scenarios in order to learn the things that we don't want, so we can choose the things that we do want, right? Especially when we come from homes that are not maybe the best example. They don't give us the proper guidance. um, Unhealthy, toxic homes. So a person like me that I grew up in a toxic home, is like a disadvantage. So it does take time to work through all the trauma and all the psychological things. There's no like magic pill that you can just take and, oh, I'm good now. A lot of it has to do with emotional intelligence and maturity, because at the end of the day, what makes us solid is usually having the wisdom, having the experience. When we're young, we're still brand new to the world. We don't know everything. We may feel like we know everything, but we don't. We Knowing is different than experiencing. You can know a lot of things, but experiencing and put in the knowledge and wisdom to the test, to apply it in real life, it's a different thing. And I believe all of that usually comes with wisdom. So I'm not here to bash anybody, not even that person that I had to unfollow. I'm just saying we gotta be careful when we think like that. We need to catch our own thoughts and realize that those type of thoughts, when we're rejoicing in other people's faults or downfalls or their tragedies and things like that, we shouldn't find joy in that. We shouldn't be comparing ourselves in order to put people down. The only person we need to compare ourselves to is ourselves, and that's pretty much it. Compare yourself to the person you were yesterday. That's who you need to compare yourself to. There's no need to bring people down. Of course, people say there's such thing like something like tough love, but that's not tough love. That's like more like on the bullying side. Like, haha, you do that and I don't, I'm smarter, like, or I got it better, like, it's childish. You should support people and lend them a hand, give them something positive to look forward or a piece of advice that will help them instead of putting them down by saying, like, oh, this is you guys versus me. I don't do that. That's kind of like low life shit, like, yeah, let them be low life though. You don't have to. If you don't like who they are, you can just not be their friend. You don't have to bash them. You can just use your time to focus on you. It's good to speak maybe sometimes about situations that others may go through as a reference point to learn things from. But usually when we're like trying to make a point out of their faults, it's not it's not a good thing. It's not healthy anymore.